My guest today, this is a do-over. This guy, we recorded this a couple weeks ago, and it's a rare thing to want to do a podcast over. He's been frozen in place since when we shot it 2 weeks ago and recorded it 2 weeks ago. But he's a Jesus.
Hey, Neal, I'm back.
He's an old buddy of mine, 25 years we got, and roughly, and he did movies, stand-up writer, producer, all kinds of stuff. He did a TV show, and his name is Nick Swardson.
Hi, everybody.
Hey, buddy.
Thank you so much. Good to see you, Neal.
Great
Always
to have you back.
Yeah, it's good to be back.
New blocks the last 3 weeks? What happened?
I went on a total spiral. No, so truth be told, I thought this was going to be a writer's podcast talking about writing. And
basically what happened was he watched the William H. Macy clip where me and William H. Macy were talking about improv.
It's not an actor's job to be funny. It's the writer's job to be funny.
The great thing about that clip, if you look on Instagram, is the amount of people telling me and William H. Macy about life on sets. You were the only person qualified that I saw to talk to me and William. Not like we're fucking doctors. I'm just like, it's a bunch of people going like, you got it. And it's all based on what interviews they've seen with Judd.
Right.
So sit down. He thought it was a writer's podcast. It's an emotion podcast. Which we also got into, but he wants to reapproach it. Yeah,
I have emotions.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just wanted to come at it with it more because my topic was I wanted to talk about sobriety because I'm not newly, but pretty, I quit drinking. So, and that's a very important topic. You know what I mean?
Well, it's important in that
I wanted to address it from a very acute angle and not just kind of flippantly because I came in thinking we were going to talk about writing and comedy, and so that was my fault.
By the way,
I'm watching just a clip, and
but you told me stuff I didn't know about you. I didn't really. Turns out I didn't know. Turns out I didn't know anything. Turns out I'd never seen you.
You know nothing about me. You didn't know I was made entirely out of wood. A lot of people don't know that.
Your Wikipedia page was all I just kept. I watched all your clips.
From childhood, as a baby.
But he started at a thing, and then he was headlining quickly. And you've talked about it on other podcasts.
Yeah.
Watch other podcasts. What was the best one?
I don't know.
Why just Google them. Watch them. By the way, congratulations to Marc Maron on finally finishing.
Congrats,
podcast.
Marc. Another thing to be mad about. Congrats.
Fine. Hey, what'd you say to?
Swardson said, "What the fuck? Hey, what the fuck, man? Motherfucker!"
You look at Neal, and I wouldn't say he's a great poster child for anything.
Okay, so you started doing well. I don't know, year 2, 3, where you're making wildly good living compared to just you were in high school.
So we can start from basically. My parents got divorced when I was 13.
Mm-hmm.
I started hanging out with
yes, that was interesting.
With kids we were just like rebellious teenagers. So 13 years old is a very crucial age in a child's development. So I just kind of did the stereotypical parents were fighting, they were separate, just not going well. My mother was a single mother and she was working 3 jobs. So my older brother and sister were off at college. So it was just me. So
Where'd your dad go?
What's that?
Where'd your dad go?
He moved a mile away.
Okay.
So he didn't vanish. So he became my friend, which is always a mistake because it's they were pitting each other against me. So they both wanted to be the cool ones when they should have just been the parent and been like, hey.
I have a question. I think when parents get divorced, does it feel like a team breaking up or something? It's like Golden State trades Klay Thompson. Does it feel like?
Well, it's weird because my dad was Klay Thompson.
Fuck.
So you're really bringing. No, it really depends. Divorces are so different. It wasn't like a team where you're like, whoa, what do you mean? You know what I mean?
Okay, so they weren't doing great.
Yeah, it was. You could see it coming a mile away.
You were getting high draft picks in the lottery. You were not doing well as a team.
Yes, it was. Yeah, it was kind of like Tom Thibodeau brought us to the finals, but we've got to cut him. And we weren't like, wait, what? So yes, but there were no other players in the game. If we're just going to keep going with the sports analogy.
This metaphor is limping along.
So
it just tore its ACL.
Yeah, it's not coming back.
Okay,
Thank God.
so your dad becomes your friend. What's that look like?
Aaron Rodgers.
I can do my own research, which was so vilified.
So my dad wants to be my friend, whatever, blah blah blah. I just go off and just start rebelling.
When your dad wanted to be your friend,
what?
We're gonna find a flow. We're both way too energetic.
Right.
We're both screaming at each other.
Yeah.
Did you? I like how you just looked to camera and kind of smiled, like to ingratiate yourself.
They're with me.
What does that go from to? Like, what was your relationship with your dad like? And then when you go to his house the first time, and
his apartment.
Ooh, fuck.
Yeah, it was
one bedroom, 2 bedrooms.
It was 2 bedrooms.
Okay. Not that
in
sad.
the basement.
Ooh.
Yeah. True story.
And is it like a new day? Like, oh wait, this is different now? Or was it like a slow creep into the new relationship?
My dad was of this mold where when I was a little kid, it was very like Rockwellian house. We had a pool. It was great. Like my parents were fine. And then like around maybe like the 5th grade, I could see it. The wheels started to come off. You know what I mean? Like it was like any kid knows when you just see it, you get a sense. They were fighting. It was getting weird. It just was weird. And then my mom started kind of putting things in my head. She's like, "Your dad's a fucking asshole." And your dad's a fucking loser. Which don't do that.
Did you?
You know what I mean?
What did you think of that when she would do that?
I was like, well, dad's cool. And then he'd be like, hey, your mom. He wasn't as vehement as my mom was. He was like, hey, your mom, just so you know, she's like kind of crazy. Just so you know, your mom, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay. And then my dad was just being cooler to me and like, bought me like a starter jacket.
Ooh, what
and
team?
New York Mets.
Okay.
Yeah, I like the Mets. I'm a Minnesota kid, but I like the Mets. So anyway, so then they got divorced. My mom found an apartment like a mile away. And so she moved out. Like literally it was like a rogue mission where one day I came home from school and all of our stuff's being loaded out. So she called my uncles and everything. And she's like, we're getting out of here. And I was like, wait, what? And she's like, we didn't tell your dad, blah, blah, blah. So long story short, she moves away like only a mile, but my dad is like blindsided. And then I start junior high school. So a lot of my friends from grade school went to other schools.
Does she ever explain it? Does she say this is temporary? We're just daddy and I aren't getting along? What was it?
It wasn't like daddy and I. It was like your dad's a fucking asshole. I'm out of there. There's no like gray area.
I like how they never say my husband. They say your dad.
Yeah,
it was. She has nothing. She's never met the guy.
She has nothing to do with it. But anyway, so we go off, start our own life. My dad's just picking up his pieces, finds a basement apartment and whatever. And so I start this new path in junior high school. And now everything's like, that age, it's like people are smoking cigarettes. I'm from Minnesota. People are chewing tobacco. People are like drinking beers. I mean, it's like game fucking on. It's a whole nother level.
And pretty much everybody in your grade is doing that.
I mean, the people I associated with were like, it was great. I mean, we were all starter jackets. We were little thug assholes. We were stealing cars. We were vandals. We turned into like fucking vandals, dude. Like, not even fucking around. Like,
how would
there
they
were
steal?
fights,
Did they know how to steal cars?
Just, the group that I hung with, we just figured it out. A screwdriver in the ignition.
Really?
Yeah. We stole a car. One of the highlights of that whole era was we were walking home from some park or whatever we were doing, probably getting high. And we were walking home and we were like, it was cold. And my buddy's like, let's fucking jack a car. He's like, I don't want to walk anymore. So we go and it's a church parking lot.
13? You're 13?
13 or 14.
Okay.
Church parking lot. So my buddy's like, let's get this car. So we pile in this car. He jimmies the door, gets in, jacks it, screwdriver, turns it on, go in the glove compartment. There's a Bible and a rosary. And I'm like, dude, this is a priest car.
God wants this to happen.
Yeah. So I'm like, this is a priest car, I think. I go, I'm not doing it. So I fucking get out of the car and they're like, dude, what the fuck? And I'm like, I'm going to walk
And you grew up Catholic?
No. I
Okay,
wasn't even
but
that religious. I grew up, I was Presbyterian.
Okay.
So me and I think another friend.
But you knew a priest car when you see
it was a priest fucking car. I mean, it was in the parking lot of a church. There's a Bible. So I mean, I'll just assume that.
Yep.
So, whatever.
There was child pornography all over the floor of the seat, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, no.
You're not going to meet me on child pornography joke about priests?
I'm trying to get into a story.
I'm sniping. Just yes and it. Go on.
Okay. But no. It's like... I know, no, it's fine. I know what you're saying. But no, so like we steal this car. Me and my friend Josh go, we don't want any part of this. This is like... I do believe in karma even at that age. So we leave. My friends take the car and they go and they decide to go joyriding. They get pulled over and they get clipped, So that was one of many things that happened. But so I got away with that. But so I just started down that path of like...
What did your parents think was going on? Were they just too busy with their own shit to even notice you were sort of
My mom was working
drifting?
like 2 jobs. She's on she was like so overextended that she didn't even... And I was like this cute little sweet blonde kid, so I knew how to like play that card where I was like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Like I would never, But she wasn't... She grew up in like the burbs in like the 50s.
Yep.
So it was like very... don't say anything. Like if anything's going wrong, everything's fine. My grandfather's alcoholic and a war veteran, so it was just
say no more.
Yeah. So anyway, so I get into that groove, and then it's like, then all of a sudden weed comes in the picture. We're drinking, we're selling weed.
Selling weed.
Oh yeah, and then
how'd you get weed to sell?
I mean, there's older brothers. I mean, there's a myriad of that's not complicated.
The older brothers. You want to talk about a gateway drug?
Oh yeah,
older brothers. It's like they're the worst. I mean, they're the
catalyst for it.
Yeah, they're Al Qaeda. They're what I mean. Like they're it.
Yeah, totally.
And you have to hope you get a good one that gives you some, but won't give you enough to sell.
Yeah, but I think it's also like. You have the older kids that use the younger kids. So you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you've got that contingent too. So then then I go to high school and I am fucking like full on stoner. I mean, this is the era of like Cypress Hill, The Far Side, Beastie Boys, Snoop Dogg. I mean, this is one of the apexes, if not the apex of hip hop. Of just Tribe Called Quest.
92, yeah.
I mean, those early 90s was fucking... And then you had grunge, whatever. So like... It was just everywhere. So we were, we're smoking weed, selling weed, and then it turned into pills, and then mushrooms, and then it became like anything.
Are you driving it, or is it sort of like somebody else just goes like, "Hey, I have pills," but you're not. You're not seeking. You're not.
I'm not seeking this out. I know nothing about this.
You don't know briefcase.
No. I'm not the catalyst in any way. I'm on board for this whole thing of like, it was fun as shit, man. And then comes into play later on.
Okay.
But so it was fun as shit. So I'm like, starting high school, and it's a really St. Paul Central High School is very inner city school. Yep. I mean, we had every fucking kind of gang. It was great. It was really artistic, but it was also dangerous. Totally.
Yeah,
it was awesome though.
Great.
But so anyway, I'm totally into this fucking world. I mean, there was a point where I was selling weed and I got a call. This was one of my favorite moments. I come home from school and my mom is just like frozen. And she goes, What is going on? Yeah. What is going on? And I go, what do you mean? She goes, I just got a call from a guy who threatened to kill me and you because you're selling drugs on his territory. And I go, what? That's weird. I go, I probably had the wrong number. And she goes, is your fucking name Nick Swardson? And I'm like, yeah. And she's like, yeah, it's not that. My mom never would say something like that. She was like, it's not the wrong. She goes, whatever you're doing, stop.
And this is with a Minnesota accent?
Yeah. So I had to go to fucking school and I'm like, hey, what's going on? I had to like go to like a fucking gang and somebody would go like, hey, did Tony call my house and like threaten to like kill my mom and me? And
what territory was he talking about?
It was like by kind of like in my neighborhood. It was off like, I don't know. It was in St. Paul.
But did you guys have it broken? And was there like
I didn't realize that he was like, I don't know if it was in like they were just fucking with me, but I was. selling.
How much
drugs.
weed were you selling?
Not even that much. It wasn't like a crazy. I mean, like maybe the most I would have is like a quarter or maybe an eighth. It wasn't like psychotic. I wasn't in any way
so
like
sell.
I'm not like
right. No,
you know
but so
what I
you
mean?
have like this much weed for a month.
I have a bottle of weed.
Well, whatever this is, whatever.
Yeah,
this
no,
amount.
that would be more than that. Would be like almost a quarter pound.
Oh, all right. So you were like less than that.
Yeah. It wasn't life or death. So I mean, until he called, but like I don't think we would have died. But anyway, so yeah, so that was like that was just one story of like.
And did
ridiculous.
And did Tony ever say like, yeah, I called because you were, or just
yeah, they were like, okay, cool, just stop doing what you're doing. And I'm like, okay, cool.
So you
then
stopped smelling weed at that point.
Yeah, so I got out of the drug game of fucking yeah. It was a real ceremony of retirement.
Yeah, Jesus, I mean, you went through the whole arc.
Yeah,
pretty quickly.
It was pretty quick. But yeah, so whatever, that was fine. So then I'm selling drugs, blah, 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 smoking weed, everything. And then I decide to make the choice, and this is kind of a funny full circle. So during the day, during school, we skip class and we have 2 blunts, me and my friends. So we go on the balcony of the theater, and it's kind of roped off the balcony because they're having school and they're having like, on the stage doing class.
Yeah, it's a child's school.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we smoke 2 blunts. So for people out there, a blunt will make a lot of smoke. So the smoke went down
because of the paper.
Yeah, because of the paper and the marijuana. And so it like went down like a Disney genie, like down to the stage. Teacher smelled it, called the principal, where we have police officers on duty at the school. Police kick in the doors of the balcony, arrest us, cuff us. We get walked.
All the time there's cops there?
Yeah, all the time.
This is like a real inner city school.
It's like it was weird, like Dangerous Minds.
Yeah.
It was hilarious.
Yeah.
But so yeah, I mean our doors were magnetically locked during the day. Like you
Was
couldn't
there
get out.
like a good amount of violence there?
Not like crazy, but I mean, yeah, it could explode. Like at the drop
Did
of
it
a
ever
hat,
explode?
shit could go down. Yeah, fuck yeah.
Like multiple people fighting, like melees?
There could be melees. There could be you never knew what was going to happen.
Scrums?
There could be.
Were there
I mean,
scrums?
there
There
wasn't
were
a
melees?
rugby ball. There wasn't like passing.
I've always wanted to do a joke about the fact that people fight at school. It's so weird because no one fights at work.
Yeah,
Just
we're fighting.
fights break out, and like teachers are kind of okay, or used to be okay with it. There's kind of nothing you can. It's like hockey fights where you just kind of go like, oh, they're
Right.
16 and they're very strong and they smell.
One of my favorite moments. I was just watching Family Feud. I love Family Feud.
course.
I think Family Feud should be what the world should be. It's just different families,
Fun.
different ethnicities. It's just
People
everyone's
dressed up
laughing.
nice,
It's
people-
fucking great.
Steve Harvey's there. Everyone's wearing church clothes.
Yes, it's perfect. So this was a real episode. It just happened the other night. And there was this black family on, and they're doing the final round. So there's 2 people that go through the final round. They ask 5 questions in 20 seconds. So Steve Harvey asks this dude, and he goes, how many fist fights? We asked 100 men, how many fist fights have you been in your life? And this black dude goes, 5. And then he goes to the next question, blah, blah, blah. So then they're doing the thing, and it was like, he goes to and asks the questions to see the final answer. And he was like, how many questions, blah, blah, blah. And it was like, 5. And he goes, 5? And he goes, come on, man. I'm black. You know how you grew up. It's like, he was just like, that's how he grew up. You know what I mean?
Did Steve think 5 was a crazy answer? Did he act like...
No. He was like, he felt like that was a lot because people forget they're asking 100 just general public
Right.
people.
Yeah.
So that's what, if you're ever on Family Feud, know that they're not asking you about your life. They're
Yeah.
asking like the
Most
general
people,
consensus.
yes.
So the answer was 0. So I thought that was way low because I'm like,
How many fist fights have you been in?
Probably 2.
This is
This is back in school.
Right. I got jumped the
And
first day of 3rd grade. I don't know if that counts. If that's like a fight. I've almost gotten
Kind
into fights.
of.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, mine wasn't like any rational. It was just stupid. I mean, I got jumped when I first started
does
comedy
family
at the
count?
Comedy Cellar.
Did you get jumped at the Comedy Cellar?
Yeah, by all the comics. Kevin Brennan.
I love it.
Patrice O'Neill.
Fantastic.
Jim Norton.
Wonderful.
So anyway, so I get arrested and I have to go to like court ordered in like not staying overnight, but rehab. So I had to go to like a drug counseling and bullshit. And so then I like had to clean up because I was getting drug tested.
Can I go back a couple comics I thought would have been funny? Caroline Ray.
Caroline
if she
Ray,
beat the shit out of you.
Greg Rogel,
Greg Rogel,
Dan Natterman,
Esty
of
got in
course.
there. Bonnie McFarlane,
D.F. Sweedler. He was more comic strip.
You were absolutely. He wouldn't. He came down. He got on the train and came down.
Yeah,
for it.
that's how important it
Go
was.
on, go ahead.
So I go to drug counseling, whatever, and then I've got to dry out. So then my friends just kind of they like abandoned me essentially.
They
were
the
kind of
cops
like, okay.
press charges? It was like one of those things like we're going to press charges or you have to dry out.
I don't know the logistics
Yeah.
of it, legalities. Like, I don't think it was that extreme.
It should be smoking weed at school.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it was just the time. I don't know if like now you would go to jail. I don't fucking know. But I mean, I was 16. So I clean up and then my friends abandoned me. And now I'm starting my junior year of high school and I've got fucking nothing. Like my friends are gone.
They're still doing drugs.
Oh my God. Yeah. A lot of them dropped out. Or half of them did. They like quit and went to art school and they were like, fuck this. So I was like, shit. So I'm like going through my classes and I'm like, okay, I'm going to do theater to get like an easy grade. I need to get my GPA up. So I'm like, I'll take acting. And so I did. And then I met up with a kid in my class, Colton Dunn, who became a great comedian, great actor. He was phenomenal, still is phenomenal. And so he and I became really close. And so I started acting sober, dried out, and then just found this whole new world of like, I did my monologue for the first time, and my acting teacher, Jan Mandel, was like, "Who are you? Like, what the fuck was that?" And I go, "What do you mean?" She's like, "That was really, really good, what you just did." And I'm like, "Oh, I don't know." And she's like, "No." She moved me up into the advanced touring company.
She said, "You're teaching the class."
Pretty quick. Yeah. She's like, "You'll know Adam Sandler someday." No, but she was like really great. And so between her and Colton was a member of this thing called Comedy Sports. So that was an clean improv company.
He's still in high school?
Yeah, we're both in high school. We're both in acting.
When he became a member of Comedy Sports?
So they had like a high school league.
Got it.
So he got me into that. So then, long story short, I became obsessed
What was your
with
monologue?
acting and comedy. It was from Danny and the Deep Blue Sea.
Uh-huh.
Which is an old school play, and it's a great monologue.
John Patrick Shanley, guys.
Yeah, okay.
Don't tell me I don't know theater.
Neal is the theater.
This is an ad by BetterHelp. A lot of people complain about workplace stress. I have it as well. I was working on a job recently, and there was a department head who literally wouldn't do what I asked. Just straight up wouldn't, and it was making me insane. So maybe like me, you would take the summer to focus on your wellness with small steps to manage your workday challenges. Workday stress is now one of the top causes of declining mental health, with 61% of the global workforce experiencing higher than normal levels of stress. To battle stress, most of us can't wave goodbye to work, but we can start small with a focus on wellness. Sitting in the sun daily, walking on an incline, etc. A holiday is great, but it isn't a long-term solution to stress. Don't forget that therapy can help you navigate whatever challenges the workday or any day might bring. What do you want me to? You know what I've been liking about therapy recently, or what therapy's trained me to do? It's basically just tell on myself and admit the thing about myself that I don't want to admit. And like a therapy, I would have never started doing that if not for therapy, because it makes you question your own things that you think you believe about yourself, and then you're like, you know what? I'm lying. I'm actually this. It's one of the hardest things in the world to be yourself. Like, what do you actually want? Here's some selling points about BetterHelp. You ready? With over 30,000 therapists, BetterHelp is the world's largest online therapy platform, having served over 5 million people globally. And it works. With an App Store rating of 4.9 out of 5 based on over 1.7 million client reviews. It's convenient, too. You can join a session with a therapist at the click of a button, helping you fit therapy into your busy life. Plus, switch therapists at any time. As the largest online therapy provider in the world, BetterHelp can provide access to mental health professionals with a diverse variety of expertise. Unwind from work with BetterHelp. Our listeners, my listeners, get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/NEAL. It's BetterHelp.com/NEAL. Guys, ExpressVPN, when you're doing an ad, they give you 3 areas. You can do travel, you can do saving money, and you can do missing out. And they want you to pick. I'm not going to pick. I'm doing all of them. When you travel, to other countries. You can't use certain streaming platforms. So when I go to foreign countries, I have to say that I'm in America, and I use ExpressVPN. That's one of them. The other one's missing out, which is kind of the same thing. So whatever. But the saving one, that's the money one. That's big. I used this 3 days ago. If you are in a different country and you search for airline fares, they are cheaper in other countries than they are in America. So a lot of times, you guys know I'm cheap, I will pretend I'm in Paraguay or something with ExpressVPN. I don't even know if I should, but they have like other countries. I said I was there, searched, it was cheaper than it was if I'd searched in America. So I just pretended to be like, I am in Amsterdam. I can't do the voice. And they thought like, well, let's not charge this guy full price. You know what I mean? So my point is, you use a VPN, it's not just for dirtbag. I guess it's dirtbaggy what I'm doing, kind of, but I'm just working the system, baby. So I use ExpressVPN, I get cheaper flights. Also, if you use it in America to pretend you're in another country, Netflix, for instance, has different content for different countries. So you can use your American Netflix, look, I'm in all of them. Neal Brennan's in all. Neal Brennan streams in that's actually not true. Certain countries, I said, don't stream me. I don't want them seeing this. But movies, they license to certain countries, but not America, whatever. So that's another way to use it. I've been using ExpressVPN like crazy lately. And like I'm just seeing here, they have servers in over 100 countries. So you can pretend you're from 100 different places. So yeah, it's simple. You click on it. It goes, where do you want to say you are? You click on that. It takes 3 seconds to connect. It's rated #1 by tech reviewers like CNET and The Verge. It's got blazing fast speed, streaming HD with 0 buffering. I use it on my phone and my laptop. My point is, be smart. Stop paying full price for streaming services and only getting access to a fraction of their content. Same with the airlines. Get your money's worth at expressvpn.com/NEAL. Don't forget to use my link at expressvpn.com/NEAL to get an extra 4 months of ExpressVPN for free. ExpressVPN. So you'd never thought of, did you love movies? You loved acting?
I loved comedy. So going back later on in life, I was looking at my grade school yearbook. I was always really silly.
Yeah.
Like I was really like, you can ask anybody I grew up with.
We don't have to. We'll take your word for it.
I'll take my word for it. But in my grade school yearbook, it said like, you're going to be a comedian someday. You're the funniest. All of those things. I was full on class clown.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I did like have an inkling for it because I was the youngest and I was, again, grew up in, tougher schools. So like you kind of had to be a goofball to not get punched in the face. It's kind of how I looked at it. But so that just, I don't know. So I just became addicted to performing. Like,
and were you able to perform? You did theater sports that was like on the weekends?
Yeah, so we would do it on the weekends, and it was great. And then I just started becoming obsessed with comedy. I studied like Saturday Night Live, like that era of like, ironically, Sandler, Spade, Farley, Rock, all those guys, Kevin Nealon, Phil Hartman. So I became enthralled, just completely enamored with comedy. Yeah, I was obsessed with it to the point where like I was going back and like studying Charlie Chaplin, watching all of his tapes, watching his whole body of work, which is monster, from even his early short films. I was obsessed. And so that took over my addiction. I became addicted to comedy.
Did you practice a lot? Would you watch Chaplin and like try to do the shit in the mirror and all that?
No. I wasn't like, I didn't have a mustache or like, I wasn't like, Mom, get me a cane and some fluffy shoes.
I thought you were committed. I thought you said you were obsessed.
Damn it, Neal, you burst my...
you watched all his tapes.
Yeah. You do with two girls, one cup. You studied that like a
the silent Two Girls, One Cup is pretty good. Black and white, silent.
So anyway, so then I don't have the grades to go to college. I don't have the money. My parents are obviously still broken up. And so I just was like, okay, I'm going to take a year off, figure out what I'm going to do. And so I decided the comedy sports company had folded in Minneapolis for a minute. Mm-hmm. The owner just kind of fucked up. So we were kind of in limbo. So I'm like, okay, well then I need an outlet to perform.
So how long has this been? A year since you got arrested? do you think?
This 2 year, two and a half
All right.
years.
And
so I started junior high, junior
zero
year.
drugs since.
Zero drugs
Since you got popped.
Completely zero drugs.
Just performing.
Yeah.
Do you take school any more seriously or whatever?
Yeah, I take school way more seriously.
Okay.
And I'm getting A's now.
Great.
Because like I know how to write. My parents were both writers, so like I inherently, I don't know, whatever, fuck. But so anyway, so I'm like, okay, in that limbo after high school, no improv, no theater, there's no outlet. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try stand-up comedy. So I go to the open mic. Colton and my friend Will were supposed to join me, and they didn't. So I just went by myself. I'd written out a set. I was a busboy at Planet Hollywood.
Great.
That was my day job, which was phenomenal.
In high school?
In high school, out of high school.
Yep.
I was a busboy.
Now you're out.
I'm out. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So I graduated high school. I'm taking a year off. I'm in limbo. I do have a job. I'm a busboy at Planet Hollywood. And so I'm like, okay, I go to the open mic. I've got my 3 minutes of material. You get 3 minutes, and you automatically go. It's a great open mic. It's Acme Comedy Company, which you know, it's a phenomenal club. And so I go and I do this open mic. I do 3 minutes, and it was a blur. It was just like you don't remember anything. But I remember being really high energy, and I was acting out like my cat vomiting. Stepping on a dog. Nick. It was very like basic, broad, and it went great. Like it just killed. And then the booker came up to me and he was like, "What was that?" And I'm like, "What do you mean?" And he was like, "That was really good. That's your first time." And I'm like, "Yeah." And all these comics were coming up to me and they're like, "Where did you start?" And I'm like, "What do you mean? That was it?"
Yeah.
And they're like, "That was your fucking." That was it?
Yeah.
Your first time?
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, I did. I came from theater. I just graduated high school. I came from theater and improv.
In Planet Hollywood.
Yeah. I got Planet Hollywood, dog.
So, you know.
You want to fucking go on my turf?
I know you see it. Go ahead.
So, yeah. So then, and then they were like, okay, well, the club was like, okay, you need spots. And then another club, a rival club, Knuckleheads in the Mall of America, one of the comedians was like, you got to see this kid. So this guy, Dan Krolchek, came to my show at the open mic again. And he was like, I want you to be the house MC. So he made me a house MC. This is after 3 months of doing it. And then I just started doing nonstop sets. And him and the other booker, Diana, just kept telling me to write. They were like, keep writing. And
You said they would like challenge you too.
Yeah, they would challenge me to write. Like before I went on stage, he would hand me a piece of paper and he'd be like, and it would just have the word leaves on it. And he'd be like, here, do a joke about leaves or I'm not paying you. And I'm like, what? I'm like going on in like a minute. And he's like, well, think of a leaf joke. So I was like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
You know, they would kind of mock me because I knew improv. So then I would have to make up a joke and shit. But like I would kill with like my 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And then I would get off stage. I'm like, oh, that crowd was great. That was awesome. And they were like, well, do another 10. And I'm like, what do you mean? They're like, well, yeah, so you can already do that. You know, you can do that.
Yeah.
Do another one. So then I would write another. And that was fucking gold advice as a young comedian. And I tell that to other comedians that I meet that are coming up. Just keep writing. Write everything down. Any idea, even if it doesn't make sense now, write. So I just, all of a sudden, I'm like writing, getting more and more gigs, doing road work. And then I get, HBO comes into town and they're doing the Aspen Comedy Festival. And so they have a contest for like 80 people during the day at Acme Comedy Company, and you did 2 minutes. So I did my 2 minutes, and they picked me in the final 10. And so I go up, and I'm like super nervous, and I do my set, and I get off stage, and the headliner during that week was Dana Gould, who is still a great friend of mine and became a really great mentor, great person. So Dana was like, I walk off stage, and he goes, oh my God, you won. And I go, no, there's like 5 more people. And he goes, no, you won. And I go, no. And he goes, just stop talking. Trust me, you won. So I ended up winning this contest after doing stand-up for 6 months. Then I went on and went against people from Chicago and St. Louis in Chicago. Then I won that. Then I went to the HBO Comedy Festival.
Did you beat anybody that's still a comic?
Frank Caliendo.
And he'd been doing it a while?
He'd been doing it maybe a little bit longer than me, but not
okay.
much. I'm trying to think of who else was on that.
Good.
But yeah, but then everybody fucking was they hated me. They were just so mean because, they'd been doing it 10 years and blah, blah, blah. And so I just had this Minnesota, and I still do it. I was just like, why? I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. Like I just did my thing. So anyway, I do the Aspen Comedy Festival, and that just exploded from there. Then I was on TV. I was doing Louis Anderson's Comedy Showcase. I was doing Make Me Laugh on Comedy Central. It just became fucking insane.
And you're 19, 20.
I'm like, at that point, I was 20 years old.
Great.
And so then it was just gangbusters from there.
Okay, and then you still not drinking, not doing drugs. You're not doing.
No,
anything.
I started drinking, but I quit smoking weed and I quit doing drugs.
Okay.
So I would like kind of like drink casually.
Yep.
But I really focused on like being the thing I did was I was like, okay, when you do stand up, just be accessible to everybody. Don't be super provincial. Don't be super local.
Yep.
Tell a joke. I was really clean, which came to be a factor when I moved to New York, because like the best advice I ever got after Aspen was like, don't move to LA. Move to New York, because I wanted to develop as a comic.
Yep.
So I moved to New York and then just started working, honing my craft, and like really getting kicked in the teeth big time. I had no friends there. My only friends were Colton, my friend who had moved there for improv, and John Bush and Greg Jaldo.
And when do you start drinking a lot?
So all of a sudden, everything just is so crazy. Like I'm doing the road, I'm drinking, but not like not too much, but I mean enough. But it's like,
Did you feel lonely or you just felt excited?
I was really excited because I was young enough to where everything was exciting.
Yeah.
I wanted to do any club. I wanted to do whatever. I was taking trains from Minnesota to Gulfport, Mississippi.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, like I drove a story
With
that's
like
kind
a
of
stick and a
yeah.
and a bindle
I was on a
the end of
raft
it?
and
Yep.
everything. But yeah, and then so one of the other ones was my manager at the time.
And you had a slave with you named Jim?
Jim Carrey in blackface. Jim Carrey in blackface. So then the big one was I told my manager at the time, I'm like, hey, I want to do road work. So he got me a run in San Francisco. And then I went through Denver. Somebody got me a gig in Denver. And so I drove by myself in my car, just all alone, losing my mind. You know, when you drive.
My girlfriend, I just want to say this so people can hear it, how crazy it is. She will drive 4 hours in her car with no radio on, like a psychopath.
Yeah, that's kind of bizarre.
Insane. But she swears by it. Anyhow.
What does she do? Meditate or just?
No, she just, I don't know, enjoys it.
Right.
I guess focuses on the road. I don't
mean,
know.
that's a good thing.
Yeah, like is in the experience. I don't know what the hell she thinks she's doing, but
yeah, why not? I mean,
yeah, it's possible. It's to
It is
try
possible.
it. It's
I would
not
do
as
half
bad as
and
you would,
half.
It's not as bad as you would think.
Yeah, I mean, I'm indifferent.
Yeah. Okay. So you're driving. You own a car. You buy a car.
I bought a car with my busboy money from Planet Hollywood, $1,200 for a Dodge Shadow, and I drove and I did stand up along the way. And then my car broke down in San Francisco, and I just slept in my car and I slept in the park. It's like a story that people talk about, like in those days where it was like so bizarre. And so now I've got like a fake ID. I'm on the road. I'm drinking. It's fucking great. I'm writing. It was so exciting. It was a great time to be in that world because the country was so different then. Like San Francisco was a way different city.
Yep.
All these cities were, you know, when I think about it now, it's so bizarre. Like back in the 90s, it was just way different vibe.
Yeah.
And it was great. I mean, I did commercials in New Orleans. I became the Barks root beer boy.
What's that mean?
And I was the Barks root beer is a root beer. It's like
Yeah.
A&W, but I became the spokesperson. So I was this kid behind a stand.
Barks, the one with bite. What do you mean Barks has bite? Here, try some of this. Ouch. I haven't seen him that excited since he got his heels. Ouch. You tell him, Johnny. You tell the world.
And we filmed in New Orleans, and like it was great. New Orleans was awesome. And
The difference, I think, back then was like you'd go to the city and then like they weren't connected. It was almost like the 1800s or something where it'd be like, he's in San Francisco and you're just like, well, there's no way to get in touch with him.
right.
Like he's in New Orleans. Like, all right, well, I guess we'll just wait till maybe he'll call us. Long distance calls cost money.
yeah. You needed like
Like
a
you-
phone card. You had like your own credit card.
Yeah, or you had to use a landline and like type in a credit. It was like you'd have to dial 20 numbers.
Payphones were gross.
Payphones were gross. You would get away from people.
Yeah, you could get away.
You couldn't be touched. You couldn't be reached.
Yeah, I remember I would just hang out at bookstores. If I wasn't drinking, I would drink on the road because it was amazing and I had a fake ID.
Wake up, drink, wake
No, I wasn't at that point yet. I would like have a day and then I would go out drinking at night.
after the show.
Oh,
Were you
yeah.
headlining?
Oh, no. I wasn't even featuring. I was emceeing. Jeff
Got it.
Wills, who now is one of the main guys over at Live Nation, who's still a very close friend of mine.
Yeah.
I remember we still laugh about it because I'm like, I drove across the country. I had a big manager. I just done Aspen, and I was emceeing, and some of the features were like just really bad. But no, it was cool because I was excited to meet headliners. So like I met, like I emceed for like local guys, Larry Bubbles Brown, Bob Rubin. Sacramento, I opened for Kevin James. I emceed for Kevin James in 1998. Now Kevin and I, that's full circle. And so it was really great. I was such a comedy addict that I loved it. I loved every part of it.
Okay, so you start drinking because you love drinking.
Yeah, and then everything just kept going. It just kept going like this. It was like I started getting on Comedy Central. Then I got my Comedy Central half hour.
Yep.
I'm living in New York. I'm doing more. I'm auditioning. I'm using my acting chops. I'm getting, in the room with directors. I'm getting testing for pilots. It would just started going crazy. And then I moved to LA, and that was great. And so everything's going great. And then, it just kept, it wasn't like that. It was like a rise that was a perfect rise of going well, but not overwhelmingly
people
psychotic.
Call it the perfect rise.
Yes.
When they look in show business, they go, it was a Swardson rise.
That's what they also do. That's also how they describe your erection.
I love it.
That's also how they describe your erection.
Help. Do you? Okay, so
I guess we can.
And you're just excited. You're just excited. And you never really got arrogant.
I never got arrogant. Because I was always like, this is so fun. I was just like along for the ride.
Yeah.
I was on the ride. I was just like somebody that it was cool. And then, like my first album was called Party.
Yep.
And it fucking blew up.
Good cover.
It was a solid album cover. But also it was like, that was kind of when I embraced the lifestyle of like, I just became all about it. I became like a drinker. And I became like game fucking on. Loved it.
Do you dislike being sober, or you just love being drunk or
So
on
for
drugs?
people that are listening, it's June 4th right now.
Yep, 2025.
I quit 2025. I quit drinking mid-August of last year of 2024. There is an asterisk because I did drink a little bit over the holidays off tour, and it was during the football playoffs. So I did drink a little bit, but it didn't turn into a bender. But there is an asterisk in case people are like, ooh. But so anyway, I don't mind being sober. I think it's really fun. It's like I dried out for months and months at a time, but I would always go back to drinking. So that's the difference between this now is when, I know this is a big jump cut, but now I'm 48, I'm going to be 49 years old. And I had this moment of where I'm like, I've got more to do. I kind of wanted to check out during COVID. I lived in Key West, Florida. I went for 10 days and stayed for a year and a half. Totally fine with quitting the business. I was like, I've done it. You know what I mean? I've done everything I could possibly do outside of things like hosting SNL, blah, blah, blah. But like, I started movies, co-started movies with huge people. I've written movies. I had my own TV show. I was on hit TV show, specials, all of it. And I was done. And then I kind of, I was drunk for a year and a half, and then I kind of woke up.
What is that like?
It's phenomenal. It is really, really great. If your body can handle it, which somehow mine did, and that's another thing about drinking that I'll mention, but, it was great. The thing about COVID was, you could kind of handle it in any way. I moved to an island and got drunk and listened to live music and got off social media.
Yep.
I didn't even watch TV.
Yep.
I would kind of watch sports, but I was off the grid. And it was really a happy, awesome time. I looked forward to trivia nights at the bars. I looked forward to my buddies at cover bands playing
I'm guessing Key West wasn't running the tightest ship in terms of masks and...
No, it was like a thing for like
cards and everything.
Yeah, the first week I was there, they would take your temperature if you walked into a store.
It's so weird looking back. Like they take your okay.
It was so bizarre, but from my mindset, it was great. I drank, and then I kind of came back to reality and was like, "Wait a minute, I'm not done. I can't just quit." A lot of people are like, "What are you fucking doing? You're just gonna quit?" And I got kind of mad because I was like, "Well, yeah, I can do whatever I want. I'm not like a slave to this business of like, oh, you can't just not do it." Well, yeah, I cannot have an agent and a manager. I can like go back to me being me and just being like a person and getting a job. I was like, I'd love to be a bartender. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Like to me, that sounded great. you know? And I remember my friend owned a bar in Hawaii, and he goes, hey, I just got a bar in Hawaii. And I go, no way. And he goes, yeah, anytime I got a house, you can crash there and, you know, hang out if you do a show. And I literally go to the guy, I go, can I get a job? And he goes, what do you mean? And I go, like, will you give me a job? Can I be a bartender? And he goes, yeah, for like a week or what? And I go, no, like, I'm done. Like, I want to just relax and write a book and just live. And he was like, yeah, sure. And so I told my manager, and he was like, what? No.
Well, you don't tell your manager.
I know, but I was like, yeah, but my manager was a really close friend of mine. But he was like, yeah, no. He's like, okay. And I go, but I can do that. He goes, Nick, you can do whatever the fuck you want. But he's like, there's more in you. You really feel like you're done performing and bringing laughter to people and bringing more movies and, you know. And I was like, well, and he goes, yeah, if you want to do that, wait till you're 60. Like, at least put in like 10, 15 more years and really max. He goes, you've got more in you. And I kind of sat on that, and I was like, valid point. So I call my buddy who in Hawaii, and I'm like, yeah, I don't think I can be a bartender. And he goes,
fuck, we were
yeah,
counting.
fucking no shit. He's like, I didn't want you to quit. He's like,
Yeah.
I felt bad of like, if I hired you and you just quit the business, he's like, you know, not that I'm like,
it would have been good for business, but
it would have been great for business.
For a while.
But going back to drinking, yeah, I was like, I need to, I just have to quit, you know? And people had been pushing me for a long time.
Well, yeah, because what you're undercounting is like, there have been some episodes of...
I skipped a very big chunk of the thing
30 years, more or less, you skipped.
Yeah, a good 20-year block of where... And it goes back to when you establish yourself as like the party guy, you know, and that's like a lot of my jokes were like talking about blacking out and drinking and having fun. And, you know, you look at guys like Bert Kreischer, you know, who's a good friend of ours. Yeah. And, you know, when you become the party guy, and that's what happened to fucking Farley. And that was another level of extreme. But once you get married to that, you're fucked, because anywhere you go, and this happens just in general if you're a comic, people are like, oh, you want to do a shot? I bought you a shot. You want to do a shot? Yeah. Oh, can I buy you a drink? It's
people offer me antidepressants. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. They're like, fucking, do you want a shot of Zoloft? No, in your eye, physically with a needle. So, you know, I got into that rut, and I became... And the thing that's different, there's different kinds of drinkers, obviously, very extreme different drinkers, but there are the party guys. Like me and Bert, I just loved drinking. I didn't drink and drive. I gave my car up a long time ago. I was like, I just love it. I love going to a bar. I love meeting people. I love watching sports. I just loved it. And, you know, like I said, when I lived in Key West, I loved going to see live music, playing trivia.
When you say you love going to a bar, what does it feel like? Because some people, I can tell you my experience going to bars is I'm like, who are these people? What are we doing?
Right.
Is that guy too drunk? Is he going to get violent? I really, like, it's not like hyper that, but I'm definitely aware of like the surroundings.
Right.
And for you, it's just like, these are my
opposite.
people?
I was like, yeah, I would walk in, I'm like, who's that guy? Is that guy going to fucking punch somebody? Does that guy have a knife? I was like, game on.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, so, I mean, I was all about it, but I just loved, it's the drinking culture, you know, when you take a step back and look at it, it's not great for you. Spoiler alert.
Well, it's poison, but it is poison, but it feels like candy.
Well, it can be really fun, and it goes back to there are way different kinds of drinkers. Like, I've been to AA a couple times, and it didn't stick.
That's probably not enough.
It didn't stick with me. You know, and it helps a lot of people, and I'll never knock AA at all. Yeah. But I just remember being in meetings, and I'm hearing people, and their stories were fucking gnarly. Even though, like, I've been hospitalized for drinking, and like I've almost died, literally. But they have stories that are like, I don't want to paraphrase other people's lives, but that are like brutal. I mean, there's people that can't walk past a bar. There's people that can't look at an empty drink or a beer bottle. There are people that have trouble going to weddings. There are people that can't be around it. I mean, there was a guy I heard that had to cross the street. He couldn't walk past a bar. I can sit at a bar all day and not drink, and drink water and watch a game. I can drink iced tea.
Because it just feels like...
I mean, I don't do it like I used to, because if you're not drinking, you're not involved with everybody. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's a real camaraderie.
Yeah.
And when you're quitting drinking, and this is a very, very important thing, you have to want to do it.
Yeah.
You really have to go like, hey, I'm tired of this. I have to stop. You can reach out for help.
And even
you
then,
can
it doesn't work a lot of times.
Yeah.
Even if you really want to.
No, and you can reach out for help. But I'm saying, in general, you've got to go like, okay,
It has
this
to be your
is
decision.
a fucking because I had people pulling me constantly like, you got to quit, and then I would get really immature, and I don't know what that is, if it's just me being a comic or whatever. But I would be like, I don't have to do anything. Like, fuck you. You're going to tell me what to do?
Yeah.
How about you go fuck yourself? I'm going to go to the bar right now. What are you going to do about it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I was like in that mindset of like, I want to do, whatever I want.
Guys, there's no promo code in this ad. There's no like, hey, go here. There's going to be graphics and stuff. It's for Modern Mammals, which is a new hair cleaning product. So again, I hate the term hair clean. There's no other way to put it. It's a new hair cleanser. How about that? That's better. New hair cleanser. Basically, when you shampoo your hair, it strips your hair of all of like bad stuff, like dirt, strips it all also of good stuff like natural oils, which, by the way, give your hair life, shine, and shapeability and volume. It makes your hair look just fuller. So Modern Mammals, they sent me it. It smells delicious. My lady loved it. And you know that means the world to me. And you just kind of put it in, and then you can count to 3 and wash it out. And then you do whatever else you got to do in the shower. No judgment. It smells good, and it doesn't, dry your hair out. And by the way, it also, one of the reasons you have dandruff, specifically you have dandruff, is because you're using a shampoo that dries out your hair. So this does not do it. Keeps all the natural oils. It's a shorter process. You got to use Modern Mammals. There's no promo code. You either use Modern Mammals or you don't. They're not offering discounts, guys. They're just going. They're standing on business. They're going, you want it? Come get it. ModernMammals.com. Guys, I like Mando. I like it. They advertise. It's part of the reason I like them. But even if they didn't advertise, you got to use some kind of shampoo, some kind of, body wash, some kind of deodorant. If Mando had come over my transom, they'd be in there. Here's what they got. They got a 4-in-1 acidified cleansing bar, shampoo, face wash, body wash, and deodorant, all in one bar. So that's, again, excellent. You could use it as a shaving lather. So technically it's a 5-in-1. Good for them for not including that in the first time. So I have to zip back and say 5-in-1. It can simplify your whole thing. You just do yourself a once over, and you've done shampoo, you've done soap, you've done deodorant, lickety split. I love it. You don't have to pack that when you travel. Don't got to do all that. They also have their own deodorant stick, which stops odor before it starts. It's just for underarms. The deodorant stick is just for underarms. They got another thing that's for all over the place. Deodorant stick's just for underarms, but it does do all-day odor blocking, not just masking with fragrance. Fights sweat, so that's double protection. Simple, 1 or 2 swipes under each arm, keeps you fresh and dry all day. I don't need to explain deodorant sticks to you. You know how to use a deodorant stick. Don't eat it. How about that? It's safe for all skin types, doctor-developed, high-quality, premium ingredients. Every ingredient serves a purpose. No fillers or junk. This isn't your average deodorant or antiperspirant. It combats sweat, stops odor, respects skin. You got to respect the fact that it respects you and your skin. It's perfect for summer. They have a list of summer events here. I think we're all pretty familiar with summer. Assuming most people who listen to this have lived through at least 20 summers that they remember. So you'll be outside. Maybe you went to the beach one time. You mow the lawn. You golf. You roof. You grill. Baseball game. That's also happens mostly during the summer. Fireworks. That's another summer thing. Not a lot of winter fireworks. I like Mando because it's effective, doesn't streak, makes me smell good. And I've been wearing it a lot lately. Will show them the photo. Here's proof. Want to try America's #1 whole body deodorant formula right now? You can now find them in Walmart, Target, and other retailers across the country. For the best deals, go to shopmando.com. Mando Starter Pack is perfect for new customers. It comes with a solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, and 2 free products at your choice, like mini body wash and deodorant wipes, and free shipping. As a special offer for our listeners, new customers get 20% off site-wide with our exclusive code. Use code NEAL at Mando.com for 20% off site-wide plus free shipping. Shopmando.com, 20 site-wide, bulk, stock up, and then you get 20% off everything. Don't go one at a time. Shopmando.com, promo code Neal, 20% off site-wide. Do you love it or do you love it? Bye. Did it feel like, when you say like, I don't know if it being a comic or just being addicted to alcohol?
Yeah, but I mean, see, that's where the question is of, you know, I can sit at a bar all day right now. I could go to a bar and watch a baseball game and not drink. So it's like, I don't have that physical.
Do you like being at bars?
I mean, not as much as I used to,
But
obviously.
like, would you, when you say like, I could go, I could also, I just wouldn't enjoy myself. But what I'm saying is,
yeah, I mean, I wouldn't,
have you done that? Like been in that 6-month not drinking period and gone like, I'm going to go to the bar and not drink and watch a game?
Yeah, I mean, I've done that before on the road, of course.
And then, okay. So,
I mean, usually it's like a hotel bar or a bar restaurant or, you know, like I'm not going to go to a dive bar right now. You know what I mean? Like that, there's a difference between that.
Okay. And so when you would talk about the like what other people would consider like, I should stop where you didn't, because it would get dark, dude. Like there were times like, I feel like I watched you pass out and hit your head on the bar. I've like seen you do shit where I was like, yo, I assumed you were going to die.
Right. There were a lot of people that assumed I was going to die. I never got like dark. I was never aggressive. I was never, I would never fight with people. I was never like inappropriate.
Yeah.
Like I was, and people can attest to this that have drank with me over the years.
I would agree. Yeah.
I was a fucking blast, dude.
Yeah.
And that's also a catch-22 where for the most part I was a functioning drunk where like I would do shows I didn't even remember. I remember doing Vegas, sold out like 1,200 people, and my buddy after the show was like, or the next day would be like, dude, that was one of the best shows I've ever seen you do. And I'm like, I don't remember it.
Did that scare you, or you were just like,
I was like, no, it fucking worked.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I would push myself really hard. And then some shows, you know, a handful of shows were not good. And I'll definitely admit to that.
There was one recently, right?
There was one last year where, and this, again, I go to Colorado, which I performed at many times.
Sure.
I was also hospitalized there. But I did a show in Vail, flew into Denver, acclimated, was in a great mood, drive to Vail, go to the bar, have a couple cocktails. Somebody gave me an edible. I'm like, hey, I like edibles. I usually take them before I go to bed. But I pop an edible, and then I'm like going to the gig, and then all of a sudden, I'm at the show, and then I hit the stage, and I'm doing a whole new hour. And I usually have my set of notes, and I forgot it. And so now I'm just like trying to piece it together in my head. Totally brain fart my set to the point where I'm like trying, they all hit me, the altitude, the alcohol, and the edible. And I was so frustrated because I was like telling the crowd, I'm like, I got it. And they're like, hey, Nick. And then some people like didn't know who I was. It was Vail. So they were like, just came to a show and they were like, boo. And I'm like, no. And I'm trying my best.
No, I'm party guy. You got it.
I don't say that. But so like, and then they told my opener after the fact, he told me this. They were like, we're going to cut Nick's mic and pull him. And my friend Ari Manis was opening. He's really funny. And he was like, don't do that. Nick will just figure it out. He knows how to handle himself. And they were like, nope. They pulled it and pulled me off. Physically came on. They're like, come on. And I was like, bye. I don't know what's going on. And then it was a shit show. And then somebody filmed it, went on TMZ, got picked up by news outlets. I mean, I'm talking like Yahoo News. It went fucking everywhere. My phone, I got like 200 texts of like people like, you got to go to rehab. Oh my God, are you okay? Blah, blah. And I was like, yeah, I fucked up. And I owned it. I was like, I felt bad, but I was like, yeah, just shit happens, you know?
Yeah.
You know, nobody died. It wasn't like I didn't pull a Michael Richards.
You almost died though, right?
I've almost died before, but I didn't die. And at that time, I did not almost die.
That was not the time.
No.
Okay.
I'll say that I did not almost die in that time.
It was a different Denver.
It was
time.
a different Denver time.
Got it.
I said I almost died in Denver.
I think you just have to stay out of Denver.
Yeah, I mean, even though
I blame the altitude. I think you're doing everything right.
Yeah, I'm nailing
Tell
it.
the what happened in Denver the first.
Well, so anyway, I go back after the Vail incident where I did not die, and I just was like, what the fuck? And then I just picked up my tour, and then all my Denver shows sold out after that. And then the tour went great.
They got to see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there was part of that, but it was great, and I addressed it. And then, you know, my other bouts with Denver and altitude. There was one time where I would finish a movie, and the thing that's really dangerous with drinking too are benders, and that's one thing that I loved. I loved starting to drink, like detoxing for like 3 months, and then I would go on a bender for either a month, 2 month, 3 month. You know, Key West was a year and a half.
When you're in the bender, well, okay, when you're detoxing, do you feel like you're training for a fight?
In a way, it's like I always knew I was going to drink again, and I would pick that time. So most of the time when I film, I don't drink. So you got to be on camera, like, you know, it's early hours.
Yep.
So, and I would produce the movie, so I'd had to be there and be alert. So I would always go, though, like, all right, fucking July, game on. So I had set aside this time, it was Memorial Day, I believe it was 2019 or 18. And I'm like, I'm going to go on a fucking bender. I'm going to take the whole summer off. Maybe I'll do 1 or 2 shows, and I'm going to fucking drink my tits off. And I'm going to go to sporting events. I'm going to go to as many baseball games, all this shit. And I did. And I had this summer of just crazy.
What does that look like?
It was a blast.
Like a day, 1, 2, give me a 2-day period.
If you're a serious drinker, it's waking up and starting to drink. So it would
10
be
10 a.m.?
Not even. I would wake up some days at 5 a.m. And I would find a bar at 6 in the morning, and I would start drinking.
Google? Yelp?
Yeah, you just go on your phone and be like, what bar's open right now? You can always find a bar.
Okay.
So I would find a bar, and I would start, you know.
When you walk in at 6 a.m., are you like, this is going to be fun, these are my people?
Yeah, if there's people there, yeah. You can usually find a partner in crime to drink with you. I would like hit my buddies up, and they were like, dude, no. But then at the bar, you can always there's always some motherfucker that's
and
like,
it doesn't matter,
man
age,
or woman,
man,
doesn't
woman,
matter age,
race, like,
you know, whether they're, you know, 25 or 75.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, some days I would drink from 6 a.m. to noon, and then I would go to another bar that I liked that would like open around 11 or noon, and I would drink there until 2. Then I would go pass out until 4 or 5. And then I would go back to the bar.
Is there a drunkenness to it, or is it just sort of like a area?
I would just hit a wall where I would know when I'm like, okay, like I'm starting to like sway a little bit on the bar stool.
Yep.
So then I would go and pass out for a couple hours, and then I would go back. And then the games would come on, and then I would watch, and the night crew would come in, like the night drinkers, and then it would be great. And I would drink until 2 in the morning.
And then you'd go pass out till 5 a.m.
Same thing.
And in LA or various cities?
LA or various cities. But
Okay.
I mean, you know, worst case scenario for me was like I would tough it out until 8 in the morning and then start drinking at 8.
Like nobody was game at 6?
Yeah. Or I couldn't find a bar at
Bunch
6.
of squares.
Yeah. But the thing I never did
Would you drink in your hotel?
No, that's what was really weird is I didn't like drinking alone. I liked being a part of something. I liked going to a bar, and I liked any bar, a hotel bar, an airport bar, love it. And I would, you know, show up early for flights and drink.
I'm assuming you tip great. People love it.
Oh, I tipped amazing. I would always tip amazing.
Picture stories, yeah.
So I would tip great, and I would just have fun. And I would, you know, I still talk to people that I met at airport bars 10 years ago. People be like, remember, it's me, Stacy from Philly Airport. I'm like, oh yeah, what's up?
Who could forget?
Yeah, but it was great. It was a fun
Why
time.
are you doing this?
I fucking was over it. I was like, you know, I just had my life. I was happy with my life. And I was like, I just liked...
It was a celebration of your life.
I liked being a drinker. Yeah, I was essentially throwing my own retirement party for years. It was so fun.
Is there somebody you look up to, like Bukowski or
I had
Hunter
lifelines.
Thompson?
So I would always reference Bukowski, famous author.
I think a man can keep on drinking for a century. He'll never die.
I became fascinated by alcoholism and drinking. So, you know, I would always reach out to like Dave Attell.
You ever black out, or as I call it, time travel? You ever do that?
Who's been sober a long time.
Yep.
And then Doug Stanhope.
People say, yeah, I don't have to drink to have a good time. But that means you have to have a good time to have a good time. How do you pull that off?
Still a big drinker.
Yep.
Those were two staples where I would be like, and I would ask him questions. I'm like, hey, yellow stuff I'm vomiting up this. What's that? Was that bad? Like there was like drinking questions where like there's blood like coming out of my ear. Is that weird? Like I would like reach out and they're
And
like,
it didn't feel self-destructive, even though it was self-destructive.
Yeah, I just was like fucking on board with it. I'm like, let's go. And then so at the end of that bender I went on for a summer, I'd wrapped this movie The Wrong Missy, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna.
Very funny movie.
Thank you.
With the great David Spade
and Lauren Lapkus, phenomenal.
Lauren Lapkus, and you guys shot in Hawaii.
And we shot in Hawaii.
Yep.
So I wrapped that.
Did Tyler direct it?
Yes, Tyler Spindell, great director.
I love everything about it.
So summer bender after that, and all of a sudden I'm in Minneapolis, and I can't remember what I'm there for. I think some Twins games. I went to go watch baseball, and I'm in my hotel room, and I'm throwing up bile. So that means it's like yellow-green toxins, and that's not unusual for me. So I'm like, okay.
Do you eat at any point? Do you like make a point to eat?
When you're on a bender, you need a couple drinks in your system to eat. So like you'll need. I needed like 2 or 3 cocktails, and then I could have a full meal.
You need to drink to eat.
You needed to drink to eat.
So
you
not the
get
opposite.
To a point where your stomach won't. You'll get diarrhea or vomit if you put anything like, especially anything like rich in your system. Like,
interesting.
So like once you have alcohol, it kind of settles and numbs your body. It's super weird. And then I would eat.
And you never did, or maybe you did do the thing where you would do coke to stay drunk?
I was never that guy. That was like a rumor I'd heard about me, but I was never a coke guy. I've done coke, but that was never a part of my regimen. It was never ever a thing to me. I liked passing out. I didn't like going the distance of like, you gotta pay.
Yeah.
The cocaine people, because you can see them a mile away. It's not a good look. I mean, sloppy drunk is not a good look, but I wasn't sloppy. But when you get people that are cokey, it's like, no judgment on you people, by the way. I'm friends with a lot of people.
From my experience of you, when I would see you in the middle of drinking, you like weren't there. It was like trying to connect with you.
Sometimes, yeah.
And it was
I could be a space cadet.
It was just like it didn't matter what I said. It was like just pull a string and you would just say a random thing.
Right.
And then,
it
wasn't like upsetting, but it was just like, okay. All right. And then you'd like try to catch up and then you'd pull another. It would just be like a.
Right.
So, but from your point of view, it was a fucking blast.
I mean, one thing I did like was I liked checking out because like for a long time, my brain was just wired to where I was just constantly like obsessed with work. I was obsessed with things where I'm like, okay, why isn't this script getting made? Why isn't this going like, okay, why am I not, you know what I mean? So like there was a frustration with the business of where I was like, I was just kind of over it. Like, you know the deal. Like the business, like people don't realize it doesn't really matter what level you're at. There's always going to be rejection. Yeah. There's always going to be things that are frustrating where it's like, well, why didn't my pilot get picked up? It's super funny. You know what I mean? Like, why isn't this? So there was a lot of that stuff where I was fucking over it. So like the numbing, and people can relate to that, where alcohol.
So you're frustrated in general, or
I was just again, I go back to the term over it.
What about the term anxiety?
Anxiety your anxiety, it's a catch-22 with alcohol because you get anxiety and then you drink and numb it. And then when you come off alcohol, your anxiety is now 10 times worse.
Which is like what it's just chemical.
Yeah,
from
that's chemical where
and all that shit.
Yeah, so that's where like, you know, I had a fear of flying, so I would have to drink on flights. I would have a fear of, you know, I couldn't go into like a concert crowd or something. You know, I couldn't do things where I couldn't go into a stadium if I didn't have a couple drinks, you know, and then the come down the next morning.
You had a fear of houses. You would have to drink to go into houses.
Oh my God. If I saw a flying house.
If you knew you were going to have to walk with your legs, you'd have to drink.
Oh my God. If I saw a cloud.
It was really dark.
Oh my God.
Did you.
Somebody told me what
the
time
internet,
it was.
You had a fear of the internet. Adam Sandler, which I was like, why work with him, Nick? You're afraid of him. Did you. Okay, so you have anxiety and.
Well,
so then you're in a cycle, and then how do you get? All right, so
what you do is hold on. Let me go back to what you brought up. So I do this bender over the summer.
Yes,
I'm in Minnesota. I'm throwing up bile. My assistant comes and picks me up to take me to the airport to go to Colorado. So I go, hey, I'm fucking throwing up bile, and he goes, you're just hungover. You're fine. And I'm like, no, something feels different. And he's like, whatever, just get on the plane, go to the bar, get a drink. You're fine. I'm like, okay. And that's what I would always do. I would always drink through it. That was always a solution. If I had any issue, if I had the shakes, anything, drink through it. So I go to the bar, get a drink, get on the plane. Sitting on the plane, something's off. Like off. I get a cocktail, drink it. Now I'm like, open my carry-on, I throw up into it. So the guy next to me is on his laptop just pretending like that didn't happen. So I throw up into it. We land. I get to the airport, go to the bar in Denver, know the bartender. He's like, hey, Nick. I'm like, hey, let me get a fucking Tito's.
In every terminal, you know the bartender?
I know a lot of bartenders. You know you are, bro. What's up, dude? So I fucking drink a cocktail at the bar at the airport, go to the bathroom, throw it up. Get another one, go to the bathroom, throw it up. Order some food, eat it, throw it up. And I'm like, fuck. And now I'm like worried.
This is where you call customer support.
Yeah. So now I'm worried because I'm like, okay, the alcohol's not working. So now I don't feel well physically. And I call my agent and I go, hey, I've got shows in Colorado Springs. I go, I think I need to go to the hospital. And he goes, really? And I go, I either need to do that or just take a nap. So it was either or. I either get a hotel room and sleep it off or go to the emergency care or urgent care. So I made the choice. Thank fucking God. I went to urgent care, walked in. I go, hey, I think I need to see a doctor. And the nurse goes, nope, you need an ambulance. Like now. Didn't even ask anything. Called an ambulance. They put me in. I go to the ICU, Colorado University. And I was there for 3 weeks. And I literally I was going to die. So like I was on tubes, everything, blacked out, don't remember anything. I tried to check out on my own, I was told. And I was in these tubes. My family flew in to say goodbye to me. I didn't know that. I was told I had a 10% chance of living. Turns out they lied to me. I had a 0% chance of living.
Motherfuckers.
And they came in to say goodbye. And for some reason, I don't know what happened, I walked out of it. I had pancreatitis, I had pneumonia, I had blood sepsis, I had alcohol poisoning, I had altitude sickness. I had like 5 things. One of those things can kill you, and I had all 5. And the doctor goes, I don't know what the fuck is going on with you.
But here's your free t-shirt for having all 5.
Here you go. Here's a catheter. But so I walked out of there. And it was like
and that's
crazy.
Before Key West.
That's before Key West.
What?
So then I dry out. COVID hits.
Why dry out? Is it hard? Is it like you have the DTs and you have the...
No, because I was coming down out of the hospital. I've had the DTs before. People that drink know. When you go on serious benders, the come down is brutal. Like I'm talking like if you drink a lot.
The shakes and the... It's
the shakes is nothing. I'm talking about like full on hallucinating. Full on.
Like you're in your house.
You're in your house and you're like hearing and seeing shit. It's really brutal.
And do you think I should just drink to get this over with?
No, because you know that you've got to stop. Like you have to. I mean, if you're smart, and by the way, this is another piece of advice: get assisted detox because you're rolling the dice. If you're a serious drinker and you've gone on a long bender, or maybe you're just an alcoholic that wants to quit and you've drank steadily for 20 years, have somebody assist that if you're really serious, because
what's
it's
the
very
difference?
dangerous.
What's assisted detox? They give you drugs?
Yeah, they'll wean you off. You'll
Yeah.
go in and they'll help you. You know, there's somebody there that'll help you. You know, chemically just wean off of it.
So no hallucinations. None
Yeah,
of that.
I mean, if you go cold turkey, I mean, you might still have to deal with that shit, but.
Slowly.
But that's very, very, very important. I rolled the dice, and I'm really, really lucky.
Okay, so you live, and are you like new lease on life, grateful? Whoa, that I was stupid. That was close. Any of that? Or are you just like,
yeah, no. I wasn't flippant about it at all. I was like, holy shit, like that. Like I felt like you kind of go like, oh, I'm living on borrowed time. You know when people say that?
Yeah.
That's how I felt. Where I've been like, I'm lucky to be alive. And I just completely like had a different mindset and just was like super healthy. It was like, I got to get my shit together, got to get back into stand up. I've got to start writing again. I've got to just, blah, blah, blah. And then COVID hit. So then it's like, and that didn't push me to drink. So, but all of a sudden COVID's going. I'd booked a trip to Key West before COVID, just as a vacation to just see what Key West was like. Because I was a fan of the show Bloodline. I was a fan of Hemingway. It always just seemed interesting to me. And
Did you see the Ken Burns Hemingway documentary?
No. Is it great?
It's,
Ken Burns did a Hemingway documentary?
Yeah. And dude, it's really like I read Hemingway afterward. I like the documentary better.
Oh wow. Okay, good. I love that.
Yeah.
So yeah, then COVID hit, and then my trip to Key West came up, and then I was like, I checked into my hotel. I had all these books. I was gonna write a book, and then
it was like a few days after COVID hit, right? But you'd already booked the vacation.
I had booked the trip to Key West December 2019. COVID really hit. What was that? February?
Yeah, February, March.
Like mid-February. So then it wasn't until my trip to Key West wasn't until June.
Oh.
So I didn't drink at all. So I didn't drink until Key West, and I got there, and I didn't know what was going on with the world. Like everybody, it was so surreal that I was like, okay, I'm fucking done. I'd gone to the doctor. I'd gotten a clean bill of health. So my liver, everything.
You have diabetes at this point?
No.
Okay.
I'm not diabetic at this point. So...
But stay tuned, though.
Stay tuned. But so anyway, I got a clean bill of health. I'm in Key West. The world's fucking crumbling. I'm from Minnesota. So, George Floyd, that whole thing exploded. There's riots everywhere. Yep. So I'm like, I'm just going to stay on this island, and I'm like, I'm going to have a drink. And the culture down there is so conducive to like chilling the fuck out, having a drink.
Had you been to Key West before?
I'd never been before.
Wow.
That's why I wanted to go.
Okay.
So that's a key detail.
Did you think you were going to drink there?
I had an inkling that it might tip me. But that's a key point.
It's very alcoholic.
It's very alcoholic, but I had never been. I was intrigued. Yeah. I wasn't doing a show. I'd booked it just as a voyeur. So when I got there, I was like, holy shit. It was like, they call it Barnia, where it was like a Narnia for bars. So I was like, oh, this is epic. This is exactly what I need. No TVs, no social media.
Key West is great.
Everything's
outdoors.
Great.
It's all like patios.
It's
great.
Beautiful. They have a butterfly museum.
Come on. Kelly McGillis lives there.
Yes. So it's what I needed. So I just embraced it. I mean, it's what I needed mentally, but then I just drank, and I stayed for a year and a half because everybody was like, just stay there. They're like, the world's burning.
And did you hit it as hard as you had?
Oh yeah,
before Denver?
Drank nonstop. I drank 8 a.m. to 4 in the morning and smoking cigarettes, chain smoking.
And did you think I'm going to end up back in the hospital?
I didn't know what was happening. They told me they didn't have a good hospital there. Like if you are in trouble, they fly you to Miami. So if you're in serious trouble, like they have hospitals, but it's not.
Or if you really need implants. They'll medevac you to Miami. Did you feel like, Nick, this is not good, or you were just like, this is great?
I was like, I loved it, dude. I had people calling me that were like, what do you do? You're still there. You can't just do that. And I'm like, yeah, I can. So then that triggered me going, yeah, I can do whatever the fuck I want. If I want to live on an island and sell dream catchers made out of pubic hair,
yep,
I'm going to fucking do it.
Yep.
So then it made me just go, fuck everybody. And I made all these friends. I'm still friends with all these people on Key West. And it was great. I really, really loved it.
Okay. And it felt like if you die, you die.
If I die, I die. I didn't want to die, but I was like, if this is it, then this is it.
Do you feel like it would
But I wasn't like suicidal. There was no...
Yeah. Your behavior was, though.
Not really.
Right?
Well, I mean, you could look at it differently. I mean, it was conducive to me because I loved drinking.
Right.
So it wasn't like... I've never been thrown out of a bar. I've never been 86. I've never been banned.
Yeah.
I was just excited to meet other artists down there, musicians, and just have fun. It was like the island of misfit toys with like Pinocchio.
Yep.
Where it was just everybody, that didn't end well. But you know what like there's donkeys smoking cigars.
Pancreatitis.
But yeah.
Okay.
So then I'll do a big jump cut to at the end of Key West. And then I got diabetes. I had to go to the hospital because people were like, hey, people are starting to talk. Like my legs were starting. I was sitting at a bar so much that I was getting muscular atrophy. So my muscles had dissipated from my leg. So you could see my bone. And I was walking with a cane. This is a true story. So I'm walking with a cane, and then my friends...
What do you think's happening? Do you think about it?
I was like, whoa. I noticed it one day. My vision was going to shit. And I'm like, and then my friends down there were like, hey, you got to go. People are now getting worried. Like, you're fun and you're great and we love you, but
take nothing away from what you've done here.
We're still going to retire your jersey. So they brought me to the hospital and the doctor did blood work. And he was like, yeah, you're diabetic now. You've got diabetes. And I'm like,
2,
okay.
obviously.
And then so I had to make a choice. I literally sat there at the bar and I'm like, okay.
You're back at the bar.
Yeah.
So you
Oh,
leave
yeah. I went to the doctor and then went to the bar after the doctor.
Correct.
And I was with my cane.
They delivered the results to the bar.
Yeah, in a shot. I saw it and then did it. But I was like, okay, now I have a choice. I'm literally going to die here, or I'm going to go home and COVID's kind of gone or whatever. So like, I just was like, I've got to get my shit together, man. I've got to, I can't do this. This is not the end of my life. This is not the final chapter for who I am and what I'm doing. And I took into account, my family, and I took into account.
Do you worry about like your mom, sister, brother, dad?
I just started to be like, how fucking sad and how fucking lame that you're going to do this when, you were given like a talent and you were given and I was a good, I'm still a good person. And it's like, I've got more to offer. And then I thought about, the years and decades, and people would run into me and down there that were fans. They'd be like, "Oh my God, Nick Swardson, I love you. Your specials, your movies."
Yeah.
And they'd be like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm just here. I think I'm going to retire." And every time I said that, people would get so bummed. The look on their face were like, "What do you mean?"
Yeah.
And I go, "Yeah, I'm done." And they were like, "Why?" And then I never really had a good answer. I was like, "Well, and they were
look at my legs."
Yeah, they were just kind of like, "Oh, well, that sucks."
Yeah.
Nobody was like congratulating me. Nobody was like, "Oh yeah, man." It was like, "Oh, really?
Yeah.
How old are you now?" And I'm like 42, and they were like, "Okay." And then all of that hit me all at once, and I just was like, I gotta go. I'm gonna go.
So it doesn't
home.
feel like living Las Vegas or something. It doesn't feel just
No.
this bleak thing.
No, I pulled my plane up and was like, I gotta go home.
Okay.
And so I did, and I really buckled down. And
what did you do what's your diabetes approach?
Well, that's another thing, and take diabetes fucking seriously, because you really have to take it seriously.
So you're losing, your vision gets like shorts out, right?
Yeah, but they equated that more to my age, and just the older you get, your vision kind of.
But
goes
don't
to
you
shit.
like get like blackouts
What do you
within
mean?
diabetes? Like you will just go like
if you don't take care of it.
Got it.
You've got to take care of it. You've got to check your blood. So I reversed my diabetes.
You did.
So I went on a 3-month diet of just clean, pure protein, no sauce, no ketchup, no anything, nothing, no sugar. So clean protein and steamed vegetables, little bit of carbs. But I did that intensely for 3 months. I was fucking miserable. It was like the worst thing ever. But I reversed it, and it came back because I like food too much. So I kind of, but anyway, long story short. So yeah, take care of your diabetes. Don't fuck around with it. Get checked. Make sure, like, especially the older you get, and if you drink a lot, or even if you don't, if you just eat a lot of shit, like if you eat too many carbs, if you eat too much sugar. Growing up in the Midwest, it's like inherently like you eat dessert. You have to have dessert at the end of a meal. And also you're a big drinker. I mean, a lot of my friends, the Midwest people know, I mean, it's also everywhere, but growing up in the Midwest, it's like people fucking drink.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
People, I mean, I've outdrank guys that are 6'9", 400 pounds that are, major, huge people.
Yeah.
And I've outdrank them, and they're like, how the fuck did you do that?
Show me ID.
Yeah.
So, like,
They're like, what's up, dog? That's what's
Okay,
up.
so-
Hey, how are ya?
So
Wait, hold on. I remember one time I'm at a bar in South Beach. I did a show staying at the Ritz on South Beach, and the bartender comes over to me and he goes, I would get to the bar at 8 in the morning. And
at the Ritz?
Or yeah, maybe 10.
Okay.
Whenever they would open. It was a beach bar, so they would open pretty early. But I was like, the bartender comes over to me at 6 o'clock at night, and he goes, hey, Nick, how you feeling? And I go, good, man. What's going on? How are you? And he goes, good, man. I just checking in. And I go, yeah, can I get another Grey Goose tonic? And he goes, yeah, you drank a whole bottle of Grey Goose on your own just today. You've drank a whole bottle of Grey Goose in the span of 8 hours. And I'm like, oh, do you have more? And he's like, yeah, I just want to make sure. I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. I drank a whole fucking bottle of Grey Goose on my own. It's a true story. Like, my tolerance was that high.
Yeah.
Where I could drink a bottle a day, and it was I could.
But
it's
it
fine.
doesn't. You don't tell this story. It doesn't seem like you regret it.
No,
or
I mean
you're
at the
sad about
time,
it or
I'm
whatever.
not.
But
no.
even now, like,
well, don't. Yeah, but I'm only saying that.
and I'm not saying you should. I'm just saying,
Well,
like,
no, don't
it's
do that. I'm not saying. I'm not. Those aren't. I'm not bragging. I'm just saying that's the level of how much I drank.
Yeah.
So
It doesn't
I mean,
sound like you're bragging, and it doesn't sound like you regret it. It just sounds like that's what happened, and.
Well, here's another thing. If people trying to get sober, regrets and living in the past and being upset at the past, fine, but you can't do that to yourself. You can't drag yourself through the mud. You can't go, oh my God, I wasted, like I don't look back at Key West and be like, I just wasted 1.5 years of my life getting drunk. I don't think of it like that. I'm like, that was a part of who I am. I'm lucky to fucking be alive.
Yeah.
I'm lucky to be here and I learned from it. So it's like all those things that happened in your past, you got to go, okay, that happened. Fuck, but forward, move forward.
So most people when they drink a lot are trying to escape. They don't like the feeling of being like sober, or they have a lot of anxiety, or they self-medicate, and you don't think that's really your story other than the anxiety stuff?
I don't think, I mean, honestly, like,
I kind of believe you. Like,
I swear to God, there's so many different levels of drinking. There's so many different kinds. And there are people that just love drinking.
Yeah.
Like if I it's hard to explain, but I really, really loved it. You get to a point where you get dependent on it. If you're on a bender, you're like, you've got to drink through it, and then you hit a wall and you end up in the hospital. I've been to the hospital a handful of times. Denver, Colorado was not the only time I've been to the hospital for drinking.
Don't get confused.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, I'm lucky enough to be talking about this, but you do hit a wall, and then, the older you get, the more you're just destroying your fucking body.
And did it affect your career, do you think?
I don't know. I mean, I know that I had a reputation for being a drinker. I mean,
But
I was never fired from anything.
Right, that's what I mean. Like, you never...
Yeah, I never was fired from anything. I mean, I had shown up on sets hungover a couple times where, I'm not proud of that. But I mean... Like
not helpful hungover?
Well, like... Just
I
could have been better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I wasn't firing on all 4 cylinders.
Yeah.
But there was nothing catastrophic. I don't have a DUI. I was always good about drinking and driving. I never got in fights or anything. It was very much, I loved drinking. I really truly did. And I never got, there were drunks where I had friends that would just get fucking angry. They would get mean. They would get racist. I mean, it was like crazy. I'd be like, what the fuck is going?
It's pretty cool, Mel Gibson though.
You are provocatively dressed all the time with your fake boobs.
No, but there were, there's so many different types, but I was just one of those people that, and the other thing is my life is different. My lifestyle is different. When you're a comedian, you work an hour a night, sometimes 2 hours a night. So when you're a touring comedian, you have time. And when you have time, alcohol is right there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's a very, very tricky thing.
And
to
you'd rather,
succumb to.
it was like your favorite hobby.
Yeah, loved it. Loved drinking. Loved meeting bartenders. Loved opening a bar. Loved closing a bar.
So have you changed the thing about regret or the thing about obsession? Have you made a point to not to do less of that?
Well, the thing
about obsessing about, like, they're not doing my thing, they're fucking me. Have you done anything there?
Well, so that's a good question, because it's like now I just have all my confidence back in terms of like I'm finishing my 4th screenplay right now. So I just went out gangbusters of like,
not of your life, of like the last year.
Of just, well, yeah, I cleaned up like a couple scripts, wrote one from scratch, and then cleaning up a 4th one that I'd written like 15 years ago.
Okay.
So I have 4 screenplays. So I'm just filling my time with things that now I am in the mindset of like, if these never get made, fuck it. At least I put my time into creating something that I use my brain, and I'm going to do everything in my power to get them made. The first one that I wrote is in the process of getting off the ground. And, I'm like, you just have to channel your energy and your obsession into like, hey, I'm just going to not drink. I'm going to put all my effort into like, I don't need to drink. I want to be happy. I want to go back to like learning and like reading books again, and not just counting on a bar and counting on, like, I don't know. I just
that's
want.
the thing. It took up, and I'm not saying it in a regretful way. It's just like if you like doing I guess other people have video games or reading or whatever, but like this was your thing.
Yeah, I was a drinker, but it's like just replacing that and going, you know, you just take pride and power in who you are and look at your life and go, hey, this can be better. I mean, I remember so many relationships fucking imploded from my drinking. Just people just take advantage of you. I want control of like who I am, who's in my life, and what do they mean to my life.
Yeah.
And that's important. It's important for everybody to like, you know, if the drinking does make you weak, it weakens your perception, it weakens your effort into shit.
Were you better?
And I knew that,
were you a better comic when you weren't drinking?
I could do both, man.
Yeah.
I could drink and go on stage. I could not. I mean,
like, do you like jokes you wrote? Like, it doesn't make a difference. Like when people go, "That's my favorite joke." Are they generally from when you were drinking or when you weren't drinking?
No, I could do either.
Yeah.
I definitely don't put like my career and success was not dictated or by drinking. That wasn't like I didn't get into it to drink. It wasn't because I drank. I love comedy. I love being a comedian. And even when I was drinking, I made a choice in my late 30s where I was like, I don't want to talk about drinking anymore. I don't want to be a drinking comic. I don't want that to be a part of who I am.
Yeah.
I just don't, you know, I had been there, done that. And it just, you know, the older you get, it's just like, you know, I don't know. I just didn't want to be I don't want to be a party guy anymore.
Yeah. What are you proud of yourself for?
I don't know. No. I think I'm proud of myself for just believing and staying true to myself. Like I'm glad that, and I had the help of a lot of people and I've got great people in my life, but I'm really glad that I, you know, just was like, hey, you're important in this world, in this scheme of things. And all my fans and all the people at Key West that were like, you're quitting.
Yeah.
And it goes back to all the messages I've gotten from people in hospitals, people with cancer, troops overseas that were like, hey, like your comedy got me through like horrible situations, you know, and you hear these things too.
Yeah.
Where it's like, hey, Grandma's Boy, I watched that in Iraq and it made me fucking not lose my mind. And those things, you know, I'm just proud of me to just hear those voices from people. And because it really is, and this is a big thing with addicts, you really have to want to go like, hey, I'm important. I've got to get my shit together. However that is, whether you need help, ask for it. Whether you need anything, but just, you've got to really believe in yourself to go, there's more to me than just, you know, being a fucking loose cannon idiot. You know, there's a whole world out there. So I'm proud of myself to just every day sticking to that and just trying to bring, you know, more laughter and joy to people's lives in a world that's just always chaotic. It's always crazy.
Nick Swardson, guys. I hope you're happy.
I have 3 penises.